The video that you're about to watch was made in between March the 2nd and April 27th of 2025. It was made completely under the assumption that the person running the Sodikken account on Amazon Music is the real Sodikken. Due to recent developments, including the release of a new album on April 24th, it has been concluded that, in fact, the account may be run by someone who is not Sodikken. This with the evidence that the singing music sounds like a different artist, and the fact that both the new and previous album covers have been found to be free images taken from Google. Because of all of this, the analysis in this video is pretty much not valid anymore and will sound very silly and/or stupid knowing this music was most likely not released by the actual Sodikken. Either way, I have poured a great amount of passion, time, PC space, and learning how to edit videos to throw everything away now, and it's still a relatively interesting and funny story, in my opinion. Consider this video a testament to the beauty of Sodikken's work, and how horrifying this release was when it happened, before we realized it wasn't actually Sodikken. Enjoy! Virtual Kiss is a 9-track album released in January 23rd of 2025. It lasts 30 minutes, and it's by the artist Sodikken. If this sounds like it's been recorded in a closet, it's because it was. So the other day, well, not really, it was months ago, I was with my best friend on the way to the movie theater, I think, and she was showing me her Spotify and all the little aesthetic eyeshadow covers and the little font thingies you can add to it. She was showing me all of the songs that she had on her page, and I saw Sodikken and immediately went, "Is that Misery Me?" She said yes and explained to me how she didn't really know what playlist to put that song on, which makes sense. To this, I immediately started explaining how Sodikken has such few songs that it's just not really necessary or worth it to make a playlist, telling her how they had 6 songs, which actually I was wrong, it's 7. I always forget about Useless You for some reason. Either way, I tell her that Sodikken only has 6 songs and that's why making a playlist isn't necessary. You just need to play the artist's music to listen to everything they have. So then I go into my Amazon Music page, open the app, go into Sodikken, and see this. I was confused, and I still am very confused. Upon seeing this weird album with the title Virtual Kiss and the year 2025 next to it, I was like, what is this? What is an album doing here from the artist that never releases music, bro? I was flabbergasted, and so I immediately screenshotted the page, sent it to my best friend, and told him, "Why didn't you tell me Sodikken had released music?" And apparently he had no idea. Yeah, so upon the time of this recording, which is March the 2nd, there has not been any releases on any other webpage apart from like Amazon Music and some other thing that I don't remember what it was. For some reason, Sodikken released an album in Amazon Music without telling anybody else, publishing anything anywhere, not on Spotify, not on Twitter, not on Instagram. I don't know why. But I am thankful for the fact that I have Amazon Music, and my best friend can no longer tell me that Amazon Music isn't good. Joke's on you, I have a Sodikken album and you don't, bro! So after that, I kinda had to forget about it. It was weird. 7 new Sodikken songs, and I didn't know what to expect. To be honest, I've always liked Sodikken because of how amazing their vocal skills are, and because their music is so rapid changing and has such interesting instrumentals. It's very unique music, and even though they get a lot of hate, or at least in the past they did, I was expecting something similar to what I've heard before from Sodikken, right? Like Gretel and Hansel and Nothing Man, Red McGann, and stuff like that. I was expecting that. The night comes and I got on a call with my friend so that I could play the album and he could listen to it with me. It was my first time ever listening to it, and the album is just something so different from anything that we would have ever expected. I have to admit I was disappointed at the beginning. I was very disappointed because I was hoping to hear Sodikken's voice again after so long. I was hoping some new, creative, lyrics-filled songs like Gretel, but it's so different. It's just instrumental tracks, and they're very repetitive. It's the complete opposite from what we usually get from Sodikken. The songs themselves, again, they're very repetitive, but they also have some really high frequency noises. I remember I was tired. I had been out all day the first day I listened to it, and I haven't really listened back to Virtual Kiss since then. I was tired, and maybe that was the reason, but Virtual Kiss genuinely made my head hurt. I don't know if it was my exhaustion or if it was really just so repetitive and so high frequency that it hurt my head. Okay, hi, this is me making a quick intermission just to say that I've listened to it again. So, yeah, the songs are not as annoying or as headache-inducing as I remembered. My head didn't really hurt during the entire time that I was listening to it this time. They are very repetitive, but what I noticed is that most of the change during the song is on the beat, like the little beatbox instrument, and on the bass sometimes. But the main melody is the same for the entire song in every single song. Maybe I'll make a little montage of every single like jingle that there is during the album. At first, me and my friend were wondering whether this was some sort of instrumental for maybe Blood and the Skinny Hedgehog or something else. We were just confused and speculating what it was about, and especially because it got no promotion. As I said, Sodikken songs are usually so unique, filled with wonderful instrumental and so much lyrics and so much of their wacky vocals that seeing none of it in a song just it's not the same. It's just not Sodikken anymore in a way, which really makes me wonder, is that the whole point? Is the whole point that they want people to see what happens when they don't do their usual stuff? I don't know. I don't even know if I should be talking about this album. Maybe they wanted to keep this album hidden and away from the viewers or the fans or the haters even by only releasing it on the weird app that is Amazon Music. I don't know if it's wrong, and I don't know if what Sodikken expected was for people to be praising it, because it's not bad, it's just a little bit weird, which is ironic considering it's Sodikken's music, and Sodikken music is weird, but that's what we love about it. The fact that every single song is just a loop over and over and over again of the same little jingle of every like song, it's just devoid of any sort of uniqueness and change, and I don't know. It's like almost together. Either way, while doing this re-listen, I talked to my friend and he started giving me some other ideas of what Spiritual Kiss could mean. When we listened to it for the first time, Void kind of compared Virtual Kiss to Monster Mash because of some of the instruments it has and because of the vibe. This to me shows that Virtual Kiss is still Sodikken. It still uses a lot of instruments that we hear in other Sodikken songs, and the difference is just the structure and the fact that they have no lyrics or change. My friend suggested that maybe it has something to do with some sort of lore. He was talking about how some of the songs have titles that have to do with sleeping and dreaming, which is very interesting and could have some sort of meaning or story that's going on during the album, even if we can't hear it verbally from Sodikken.
No sé si soy yo, pero me acabo de dar cuenta que hay nombres de canciones, o sea que en mi opinión tienen que ver algo con el sueño o con el mundo, o sea, no tengo otra palabra para describirlo, pero el mundo onírico, que es algo así como, sí, también como de los sueños y cosas del estilo. Ya para empezar, o sea, tenemos de que Sleepwalking y luego después está Lucid Orbit y luego está The Coffee is a Portal. Lucid, pues es un sueño, o sea, me hace pensar en sueños lúcidos. Sleepwalking, pues puede ser que estés sleepwalking mientras tienes un sueño lúcido. The Coffee is a Portal. Maybe, no sé, el coffee, o sea, sí es como una forma de... Va a sonar algo contradictorio, pero a lo mejor dormir más rápido, o es un portal para tener una chance de hacer sleepwalking o tener un lucid dream, no sé, algo así.
These are some really valid ideas, and I think that it just shows that the album itself really does have a topic. It has a theme going around it in one way or another. It's not just random, even though it might seem like it's random.
O sea, es que puede ser tan simple como que Sodikken quería hacer un álbum experimental, solamente que fuera instrumental. O puede ser más complicado, que, no sé, Sodikken quería, no sé, decir algo a través de Virtual Keys, como lo que ya habíamos dicho, que a lo mejor fue por el hate que le echaron, o porque tiene de que deep lore meanings en algo de Bash, o no sé, deep lore meanings en otras cosas de su canal, no sé, cosas así.
Because here's the thing, virtual kiss can mean so many things, and we simply don't know because Sodikken hasn't said anything about it. It could be, like he said, something experimental, them trying something new, or actually something related to the lore of their channel. They have a lot of stories and a lot of characters. It could be very much related to something like that. I want to listen to it again while I edit this video and to play some of the songs in the background because I am going to record this. One of the greatest fears that me and my best friend have had since this thing released had been Sodikken just randomly deleting this thing off the face of the earth. And we really hope that doesn't happen because even if it's not like usual Sodikken, it's still very interesting. It's interesting. Some of the songs already have a lot of different bars of popularity. I don't know if that's because it's actually getting listeners or for some other reason. Amazon Music can be really weird. The album cover itself is very interesting. It has a tiger, and it doesn't seem like what we usually see from Sodikken because we usually get drawn things from Sodikken. It's very stylized. It's very, yes, collagey, but not in the way that the Virtual Kiss album cover is. The canvas used for this collage doesn't fit the space of the album cover, which again just feels like pushing down the idea that it's not supposed to be what they normally do. It's just different. It's still the same artist, but it's different, okay? This album being some sort of response to the hate to songs like Mystery Meat or People Eater or Answer or Red Mageddon or I don't know what songs I get hate on. I'm not on TikTok. Either way, it feels on purpose that they did this. I've not heard many people talking about this album. I don't think there's any YouTube videos apart from what I'm making right now talking about this album. I saw a comment on that one video about what happened to Sodikken talking about the fact that they released an album. But I haven't seen anybody make anything of this, and that's why I'm making this. The album was released on January 23rd, and again, it's March the 2nd and nobody has said anything about it. It feels so hidden away. The fact that it's so unique, I don't know, it bugs me, but it feels so smart. It feels so intentional that it's just so different, and I wish I knew what Sodikken was thinking when they released this. My friend has suggested it was maybe just an accident, that Sodikken accidentally released 9 songs in an album with a cover. I don't know if it could have been an accident, but it's an interesting thought nonetheless. I don't know if anyone else can listen to it on Amazon Music because I do have the unlimited version because of the subscriptions. Either way, I'm eager to hear what you guys think of Virtual Kiss and to see some discussion around this finally because I find it so weird that nobody has said anything about this. It's been like 38 days. It's been more than a month since this thing has been around, and it's weird that nobody has said anything about it. So please tell me what you think. Please tell me if you knew or had any idea that this was going on. Maybe I'll say more about what I think about the songs once I listen to them while editing the video. But wherever you are, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a nice day. I don't know if that's because people are actually listening to it or if it's because I've listened to it a few times. No, that's a lie. Okay. I was flabbergasted, so I immediately screenshotted it and forgot about my friend for a few. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Maybe Sodikken wanted to keep it as hidden as possible, and that's why they only released it on Spotify. Sorry, fuck, okay.